Hello, everyone. We are back. Sorry about that very rapid turnover there, but we are now at a Link to the Past randomizer right about to start. I'm Drosy1. I'm here with 329th in line. How are you doing?
Oh, doing well. Happy to get to watch an awesome race between looks like Luffy and Samus tonight.
Yes, that's one way to look at it. The Ralen Tankir's choice of Samus is awfully appropriate given that we just cut over.
Oh,
Uh,
here we go.
And up, wow, Moonpearl and Link's house. That is a nice starting item. And I saw a crystal on Hera, a red pendant on Eastern, and I didn't see the third dungeon.
It looks like Desert is also pendant.
Oh, so two pendants in the light world. That's unfortunate.
Some blue mail though, early defense.
So I know this is a bit abrupt, but let's give some background on how we got here. This is an 80-person tournament, 16 groups of 5 people. These two runners, Hitsuyan and Ralen Tankir, are in Group H. It's a round robin, so they each get to play the other 4 members once. Hitsuyan is currently 1-0, having beaten McMonkey earlier today, and Ralen Tankir is 0-1, having lost to Zelga Desan, who is currently undefeated in the group. So this is going to be a key match for positioning here.
And I missed some boots early on, so we will be going pretty fast this seed.
Yeah, and regarding chat, yes, both of these runners are German, so if you speak German, you can see them on SpeedGaming Deutsch as well. Wow, red mail before the 2-minute mark.
See what's down in the thieves' hideout. Oh, just a piece of heart. Electing to skip that. I don't know. This early on, I'd feel like I'd just maybe grab that just for a little assurance.
Yeah, most runners probably would when it's staring them right in the face like that, but I guess they're feeling with red mail, they're willing to delay their 4th heart a little bit if necessary.
That's a good point.
That rock that... Okay, he must have picked up a bomb, now he's getting another bomb, okay. I just didn't see the bomb the first time Hitsuyan bonked it, but it is a nice thing with the boot start to be able to pick up a couple of bombs from bonking like that and know you'll have them for Kakariko.
And plenty of items upcoming here in Kakariko. Got 20 rupees, piece of heart. Ralen not going to be able to skip that piece of heart.
And a full heart container, which is even better, and a bottle, which we will be able to use for Sick Kid while we're here. Ooh, half magic too.
Not gonna make any progression, but definitely a good quality of life improvement here.
So let's see what's in the well now. Well, that big 20 is going to give us enough money for bottle vendor here. So, oh, and another big 20 just to be sure.
And even more. Oh, but there's your sword. Grabbing our first sword, just under 4 minutes in.
Which is also our first weapon if you don't count the bombs. And we just paid 100 rupees for a red meringue. And Hitsu's going to buy bombs anyway. I wonder if Ralen Tankir is doing the same. Nope, he's going straight to Sick Kid.
Oh, a bow on Sick Kid. Some good stuff early on.
Yeah, that early bottle was key. I mean, because a second bottle. So
And our first lift upgrade.
wow. So the seed is really screaming at you that you want to get that bow from Sick Kid.
It makes you nervous when you see this many progression items up front. You wonder what's going to be trolling you as you get later into this.
Yeah, so we are also either only a hammer or a second lift upgrade away from Dark World access already.
Gonna get a peek at the race game down here and what's on the library ledge.
Yeah, this is a nice quality of life improvement with the open boots. If there's something on the library ledge, you can get it right off the bat.
Unfortunately, gonna pass up just 10 arrows. And gonna do the check before grabbing it. And it's silvers, I believe.
Yes, that was silvers, so we're seeing both males and both bows before the 6-minute mark.
I see a mirror on Ped in chat there. So I'm telling you, I think something is going to be giving us some trouble. We're getting way too many gifts right up front.
Yeah, and the thing is, with Eastern Desert both being non-green pendants, they're probably not things the runners are going to want to dip. But if the lamp shows up, that could be the seed telling you you're going to have to go to Eastern anyway.
Not that these runners need that lamp, I'm sure. Sure we can get through these dark rooms. But good to follow the logic.
Yeah, Hitsu and Ralen. No, Ralen is not going to back of escape. He's getting his Moon Pearl. But Hitsu's taking back glove, and yeah, if you get a glove early, back of escape is usually the immediate play. He has that small key, so he can progress through escape backwards.
And just as we said, there's those dark rooms doing them out of logic. But these runners more than qualified to tackle that task. And on Ralen's side, we're going to see what is under the dam today. And a hook shot.
Yeah, now that's interesting because Death Mountain is out of logic without either a lamp or the flute, but again, as we've said, these runners can do dark rooms easily, so now if they break logic and go up Death Mountain, they have the whole east side.
And as we say dark rooms easily, we have Hitsuyan. I didn't see if he got the item. I saw his face cam. He looked a little distressed. Did he die without picking that up? I was paying attention to Ralen.
Yeah, I saw that. Well, there's our lamp.
Bringing us back in logic. And another sword.
You know what that puts in logic?
That would be Aga.
Yup. So we will see where this seed takes us. They do now have logical access to all of Light Death Mountain except Tower of Hera.
Gonna need a mirror to flip over to Tower of Hera. Or the hammer.
Which is unfortunate because that's our only Light World crystal.
Hitsuyan about to be excited about what he finds under the water.
Watch the book show up in Ice Rod Cave or something like that.
Just some blueberries.
Yeah, Ralen Tankir, yep, charging a water walk here. That's a little glitch. If you run along the side of the pit here and jump into the water facing south, you'll be able to run on top of the water without the flippers.
No, Eastern has not been checked yet, but it is a pendant.
Now, we don't have anywhere near Zora money. Oh, and he's not even checking what's on Lake Hylia Island.
Doesn't have
so all we're
yet.
gonna...
Oh, go ahead.
Oh. No, I was going to say, all we're going to get are these two chests, and he can see what's on Zora Ledge. Ooh, and see what the fairy is giving for free fills today. Bees. He doesn't even want to see what's on Zora Ledge. Now he's checking the island.
Not going to be coming back for that, I would imagine. We get a hobo check.
Yeah, this makes sense because if you do the hobo first, then you lose your water walk. Though I've seen some runners fake flipper to hobo, still storing the water walk, and then they release the water walk from there. But since Zora is clearly not on our itinerary anytime soon, given the amount of cash we currently have, the routing Ralen did make sense. And Hitsu's doing the same routing, in fact.
So still unsure of what is in the Dark Cross and Escape, which might be our hint to where we need to go next. We don't have a clear breadcrumb of what to follow. Still locked out of any dungeons or anything that we could look at right now.
You know, with both runners having red mail, and I see the tracker's a little bit behind on that, but both runners do have red mail, and given how little damage those enemies do, Hitsu's death must have been intentional, and he got the item because it takes so many hits to die to these guys.
I would think that I would agree. I just saw on his face cam that he looked a little surprised by it, like, oh man. So, although with the lamp, we are going to get a check up Death Mountain. But we'll know in a second what was in Dark Cross. Just some bombs.
So to answer chat, this is not an open with early boots, this is an open with starting boots. Just a quality of life improvement to kind of move the seed along, and, there are so many events at SpeedGaming Live that if we can make the seeds a little bit faster so we can get more events restreamed, so much the better.
Nice spin dash to add to that speed.
And that is a shield on Spec Rock, so we're not coming back for that.
And a single rupee in the cave. Gonna make our way over to East Death Mountain with that hook shot. Got quite a few checks on East Death Mountain. And in case you're just joining us, we are a hammer or another lift upgrade away from Dark World access already, only about 12 and a half minutes in.
Well, I mean, or Aga Tower climb, which is already in logic.
That's true.
But, ooh, Fire Rod, nice. Yeah, I'm sure with all these remaining checks, the runners are in no hurry to do Aga if they can turn up a hammer.
Cane of Samaria, 20 more rupees, some bombs. Some more bombs, and a piece of heart.
Yeah, definitely gets a lot of items out of the way early.
It's on the floating island. Shovel. Might have to come back for that one. As we make our way through Spiral Cave, let's see what's at the bottom here. And there's the hammer.
Okay, so we will not be seeing Aga 1 today because we already had a lumberjack check. Ooh, Ralen takes a fall there. You can see the kind of eye roll and head shake.
And Hitsuyan gonna hop over to the Dark World and maybe give us a map check, and we'll be able to see what we're working with here for the rest of the seed. And just Skull Woods pendant, so everything else in the Dark World is going to be a crystal. So that means we're still looking for flippers, still looking for the ice rod. I say still looking, we're only 15 minutes in, not even.
And our 5-6 crystals are in Thieves Town and Mire today. Hey, Hype Cave puts us a lot closer to Zora money. Okay, it puts us on Zora money.
No doubt Ralen excited to see that hammer for himself over there. So Drazi, with so much available to us, where do you think the first dungeon dip is going to come into play?
Well, Hitsu's gone over to East Side, so I'm guessing he's going to do Pod, which is full clearable and fully in logic. It also has 5 items in it, so good chance of finding progression there.
We have some routing divergence, as Ralen is actually making his way over to Tower of Hera.
Yeah, now that we see this, yeah, it's kind of interesting that Hitsuyan didn't do this. I guess because he didn't want to climb the mountain again immediately after getting the hammer.
Big key in the basement. Well, we'll see as Ralen goes through this. We'll see if that was a good choice to skip and save for later, or if there's something of value up here as we make the climb.
Hey, map in the map chest. So now the thing is, there are 4 checks remaining and 2 items. So that's a 50-50 shot that something's in the coffee break chest.
And Ralen executing the Herapot skip very nicely, making his way up.
And we did not want to see that small key.
Still hope, though, if we grab something off Moldorm, then we've got a compass locked downstairs.
Yeah, still a 50-50. Ralen realizes he's not quite lined up with that bumper to dash by it and circles around. Hitsuyan, meanwhile, found a key in the first chest of Pod, so he was able to move forward through the center door.
And that is our first boss down, our first crystal. And what did he have? Oh, we're going to be going downstairs, I would imagine. But that's our first crystal at 17 minutes, 36 seconds on Ralen's side.
So now, a compass in the bridge chest in Pod means that there can only be one other non-small key item in the front of Pod. So if he finds one here, he'll know that everything else in the front has to be small keys. Okay, everything else is small keys in front. And Ralen Tankir showing why we call this the coffee break room, because if you line yourself up on these blocks and make the switch flip, you're invincible, all these tiles will hit you, you can take a coffee break.
So we'll see if, as when Ralen comes back to grab this chest, we'll see what Hitsuyan is leaving before he makes his way to the Tower of Hera. We'll see what play was going to turn out a little better. Still early on, though, plenty of time for our runners to retrace each other's steps, and just 50 rupees, so Hitsuyan making a pretty good call to save that towards the end of the race.
Meanwhile, Hitsu has identified all the small keys, so there must be an item here in Harmless Hellway. And the big key, so he'll circle around and do Dark Maze. Or not? Oh, I guess this makes sense because he wants to beat Helmasaur now. If he gets an item there, then maybe he can isolate. I guess we haven't seen the map yet.
Yeah, I didn't see him pick up the map. I know he's grabbed the compass, but I haven't seen the map.
So what we'll probably see is he'll go back in, do a hammer yump, and hope that the map is at the top of Dark Maze and he only has to get the big chest and the chest at the bottom of Dark Maze. Meanwhile, Ralen has entered the Dark World, doing a totally different routing strategy here. That fire rod that we found on Death Mountain does put Skull Woods firmly in logic, but I don't think he's in any rush to do a pendant dungeon.
And we also have a fully clearable Thieves Town. Sometimes you end up in there without the hammer and you have to make that judgment call whether you go back for that chest, but not today. And we've got Helmasaur over on Hitsuyan's side.
Yeah, and that early silver find is going to be nice because as soon as we get that mask off, all it takes is one silver shot.
Yeah, when you come into Helmasaur King with just regular bow, you definitely remember how nice it is to have silvers in this room.
And we've already got 2 items down here in Thieves Town in the front.
And there's a mirror on Helmasaur King, so Hitsuyan grabbing the mirror and his first crystal of the match.
And that's going to make things a lot nicer for him when he comes around to Village of Outcasts.
Grabbing what had to be the big key there on Ralen's side as he's going to move a little deeper into Thieves Town.
So 4 items in the back, 4 chests in the back, 2 items, and the map and the compass.
And Hitsuyan doubling back into Pod to grab what's in the dark maze or the big chest. Gonna see if he finds the item. Yep, yes, he is still missing the map. So if he finds an item, I think he'll be gonna have to go through the dark maze.
Yeah. Both of the Dark Maze chests are going to be items now. And what an item! We have Flute, so... Yeah, Hitsuyan's routing has really paid off, that he now has some good items for getting around the map quickly.
Yep, as you pointed out, that mirror is going to help him to navigate through Thieves Town and Village of Outcasts, but also be able to activate that flute when he makes his next trip over there. So.
Okay, there's our 3rd item in Thieves. So if Blind Cell has the 4th item, we can skip the big chest anyway.
Got Tempered Sword in Sahasrah's closet, along with a couple of hearts.
Hitsu's just getting all the checks ever since their routing diverged.
Ralen is making up for it, some very tight execution and good movement through these rooms, though, taking advantage of that early hook shot.
Absolutely, and he's gonna have his 2nd crystal soon enough.
Does he have the small key? Yeah, he's got 1 key left, so I would imagine you check this now.
I mean, yeah, it's a lot easier than beating blind and coming back down here. Of course it's the compass.
And had he fought blind first, blind would have had the compass. That's just how it works. And over here on the left-hand side, please rise for the Hylian National Anthem as we have Flute. Gonna be moving around this map much quicker.
And here's Blind, who will give us an item.
blind is the one boss in the game where damage does not matter. It is 9 hits from any item that damages him. On to phase 3 already.
Yeah, he is scripted. If you do the same thing, he will do the same thing. And that was flawless execution of that script.
And as Ralen wraps up, grabbing his second crystal, Hitsuyan just makes his first progress into Village of Outcasts.
So now we're seeing the other 2 checks in Village of Outcasts. Nothing in either one of them. So this whole area has been a bust so far.
Oh, I'm missing that bomb. I'm gonna have to drop another one. Check that.
I imagine with that mirror, Hitsu might actually go north after Village of Outcasts and do Graveyard Ledge and King's Tomb.
Gonna check the dig game down here.
Hey, it's not on their trackers, but we saw them pick up shovels, right?
No, shovels on the floating island.
Oh,
We know where
okay.
it is.
We saw the shovel, they didn't pick it up.
Yeah, that's definitely, you know, as things progress on, that's going to be weighing on their minds, especially if this turns into like a Flippers hunt or an Ice Rod hunt. Both Swamp Palace and Turtle Rock are crystals, so gonna have to find a few more things before we can get into go mode. Although, if you joined us from the beginning, you saw we picked up stuff pretty quickly. A lot of progression happened even under the first 15 minutes.
Well, given how Ralen's going through here, he's probably gonna do Hype Cave and then Pod. It's the logical way to go through things, so he'll get those items that Hitsu has that he's been missing out on.
Yeah, when Hitsuyan comes through this route, though, he'll be able to grab K45 as well on his way through. Both our runners just retracing the steps so far. I would imagine Palace of Darkness is on Ralen's mind, though, so we should see him make his way over there soon.
I mean, it's the most item-dense location he can check. He's probably not going to Catfish quite yet. Neither of our runners has had any interest in going to Aegina, which is, at the moment, an isolated check.
On a pendant desert, so the temptation to go back there is pretty low.
Yeah, and until we get mitts and at least one medallion, it's probably not worth going there until we have a chance of being able to do Mire.
Hitsuyan gonna be bummed to find a compass here. And, yep, just as we figured, Ralen has made his way into Palace of Darkness. He's going to be pretty happy to find that mirror, which I believe was on Helmasaur King.
Yes, that's where it was. So we'll see if he takes a similar routing through Pod as Hitsu did, or if he goes about it a different way. I'm sure he'll go through the middle door now that he found that key. But will he do the back the same way? Hitsu also doing well with the script so far.
And that's 2 flawless blind fights today. Very nicely done to both our runners.
And that evens up the crystal count, too.
I would imagine we'll see Hitsuyan stay in the Dark World, follow down through Stumpy, K45, and
I wonder if he'll go north. Just because there's never a good time to get over and do Graveyard Ledge in King's Tomb.
yeah, you're right. Looks like he's making his way up.
And he'll check Bumper Ledge to see if it's something he'll want to come back for. No, he's not checking Bumper Ledge. Okay, then.
Let's see what's up here on Graveyard Ledge. And on Ralen's side, we have, he's continuing to make his way through Palace of Darkness.
I'm not sure what he was trying to do there. Oh, I did not know about that glitch.
Yeah, Hitsuyan did the same thing, and I've never seen that before myself, so...
Is that like a door extension glitch?
Something with the Cane of Samaria block being there, and he just walked right over those red pegs. Gonna get a look at King's Tomb. Just some bombs in King's Tomb. So while it feels good to get some of these more isolated checks out of the way for Hitsuyan, it's not producing what he's looking for, though, so making his way up to Death Mountain now.
Where we know he's not going to find anything, though he will get another crystal for his troubles. So... what do we even have? We have Skullwoods and K45 and the green pendant turn-in from Skullwoods. That's 4 checks. Oh, and Catfish and Zora, and... yeah.
Could have vanilla flippers.
Always a possibility.
Interesting, Hitsuyan is actually doing the Dark Maze first. I don't believe I saw him go over to Helmasaur King yet.
Oh, right. Thank you, chat, for reminding us. Aegina, of course. Which I'm sure neither of them want to go to, but which is Sphere 1. And no, we can't do Super Bunny. We need the Mitts to do Dark Death Mountain.
Taking an intentional death. Get himself back to the beginning. Without that mirror, he can't warp around, but his mirror troubles will soon be over as he makes his way back to take on Helmasaur King, who is guarding that mirror. And on the left side here, we see Hitsuyan setting up for the Harapot skip. Very nicely done.
Ooh, he tried to run instead of just jump. Ooh,
oh.
And bonks off a hard hat beetle.
Gonna reset the room there and pretend like that didn't happen. There we go, very nice. And always nice to have the Cane of Samaria when you come in here. You can save yourself some time pushing that statue around. I will say, even with the bonks on Ralen's side with that beetle, as someone who plays this game very poorly casually, their execution is just top-notch.
Absolutely, and Hitsu has a nice clean Moldorm fight there. 1 slash and 1 spin was all it took with the Bacon Sword.
You can see him shaking his head there with disappointed to know he's got to go downstairs, which he will do the coffee break and probably be disappointed just about as much when he sees that there's nothing down there. But there is something to be said for peace of mind. Checking it, no, you didn't skip anything.
Yeah, so now if anything, Ralen will be a little bit better positioned when he comes out of here because he can go to check Pyramid Ledge, and then he can go up and combine Catfish and Zora.
That is correct. They have not dipped into Eastern yet.
Oh, right.
That is
3 more items in Eastern.
And Ralen taking on the Helmasaur King. Looking to tie up this crystal count.
So yeah, raise an interesting question. Is our progression going to be in the overworld, or is it going to be in a pendant dungeon?
Are you getting any feelings, Drosy? Do you think they might be having a dip eastern, or do you think it's going to pop up while they're looking around the overworld?
I'm thinking Skull Woods or the Green Pendant, honestly.
We did get that fire rod relatively early, so it's tempting. It's baiting you to come in there, but the question is it just bait, or is it going to be what we need to progress in this? Oh, Spike Cave check, which is out of logic. Although he does have a lot of hearts, I'm not sure the logic chain on that one.
Yeah, the logic doesn't count hearts. It requires an invincibility item, but yeah, with that many hearts and several bottles, you can just cheese it.
And only 300 rupees for his trouble, as Ralen cleans up Sahasrala's closet, grabbing his tempered sword. Both runners on red mail and tempered sword.
And 13 hearts. Oh. Shot reminding us that no one's done front of escape, even though we've seen the back. And I wonder if that's where Hitsu's going now. Oh, and Uncle, too. All these Sphere 1 checks that we haven't seen.
Well, when you get Fire Rod, you know, lift upgrade, hammer, all that stuff early on, bow, it's can lose track of what you haven't grabbed. And there's the flippers. So Sphere 1 flippers, they've been sitting there this whole time.
Which means that Swamp was, yeah, look on Hitsu's face there. Swamp was supposed to be in Logic by now, which Hitsu just made it in Logic, so I think he's going there.
And Ralen following, he's getting the vibes, he's feeling it. He left something behind. So for all their routing divergences, they're evening up pretty nicely here, as they're both going to have flippers access to Swamp tied at 3 crystals apiece.
Yeah, the only difference is that Hitsuyan's gotten in a few more side checks, which could make a difference if their Go Mode item is in a far-flung location and they have to just start doing random checks.
Indeed. So interesting, Ralen is going all the way into the front of escape. Whereas Hitsuyan grabbed those flippers and turned tail and went straight to Swamp Palace. So again, a little bit of divergence here. We'll see which one ends up paying off.
Yeah, I think our next big progression item's got to be the mitts, because what else do we need? We'll need the ice rod, and we'll need at least one medallion.
Yes, we haven't seen any medallions show up yet, so important to note. And we haven't seen checks on any of that without the mitts, so kind of in the dark with that.
So we haven't seen Bumper Ledge yet, and there are a few things the book can get us access to, so could wind up on a bit of a wild goose chase if the cane or the book shows up. Cape, sorry, not cane.
Hitsuyan making his way deeper into Swamp Palace. And Ralen's going to give us this final check, and it's just rupees, so escape. The right call was grabbing those flippers and getting out.
Yeah, Hitsu's method has basically been, let's go to the most item-rich crystal dungeon I can clear.
And it has been paying off for him. He has just a very slight lead over, like we talked about, for those overworld checks, but it has been working out for him. He hasn't abandoned anything. And we've got the goose loose on Ralen's side.
And Hitsu prefers bomb strats to Cane of Samaria strats to do this glitch, which we call Diver Down, where if you can push yourself into the railing, you can jump over it without having to drain the water.
Magic powder. That's gonna bring the bat. I'm trying to think if there's anything. No, they should be able to get that because they have the hammer.
Yep, that's the first fetch quest we've seen so far.
And speaking of fetch quests, just to keep in mind, we do know where that shovel is, and just not able to grab it yet.
Yeah, the thing is that, you know, since we can't get there without the mitts, and all we need are the mitts, the ice rod, and a medallion or two, it would be unfortunate if we need that shovel because it'll mean a medallion hunt or an ice rod hunt.
And with one silver arrow, Hitsuyan has another boss down, grabbing his 4th crystal. And Ralen on his way to slay Argus as well as he steps into Swamp Palace.
I did not see how many dungeon items we found, did you?
No, I did not. I know we grabbed the big key later in the dungeon, so I would imagine we're going to make our way back to grab the big chest, and depending on what's in there, maybe dive into left side swamp.
So yeah, we'll see what Hitsu does after opening the big chest here, which he almost ran right by. Okay, gotta go left side.
Hitsuyan taking the time sink to see what's in left side swamp.
Oh, interesting. Ralen's going to do the left side first, which means we get to see the other place you can do a diver down here in Swamp, which is right here. Notice that he went for the switch and the lever immediately. And he's gonna bomb the switch. If you transition immediately, it won't switch the blocks until you leave the super tile. And you can diver down over the railing here to grab that key.
This is the first I'm seeing this one. Very nice. Oh, and just 20 rupees on left side.
And I guess it was just that one item. That'll work to Ralen's advantage, because if he counts items, he'll get the map in the vanilla big key chest and know, once he finishes the dungeon, that the big chest has to contain the compass.
Indeed. Every second's gonna count. You can tell this is gonna be a close race. And Hitsuyan making his way onto the Lake Hylia Island. I guess he didn't see that that was a heart piece earlier. Ralen did see that on his way around.
So, where's Hitsu going now? Is he gonna do Eastern?
Could be a catfish check. Oh, he didn't do any of the fake flipper checks.
Or at least he didn't do Hobo, because I remember he did that water walk.
And you could see on the face cam there, Hitsuyan not happy to see 20 rupees on the hobo.
Even though, of course, we can't do this event in person, it's been nice having the face cams because you really get a sense of what's going through the runners' heads when they make certain plays.
And it does indeed look like a catfish check coming up. Which, Drazi, do you recall if he was able to check Waterfall Ferry? I know that Ralen did. I remember seeing him doing the water walk.
I think Hitsu did. I'm not 100% sure. But at a minimum, we'll get 2 more checks after this with Zora and Zora Ledge.
And some great strat to take out those puffs on Argus. It definitely helps to have Tempered Sword.
Oh, he's not even trying the silvers, but it doesn't matter.
Interesting choice when you have silvers to go for pinning him in the corner, but it works out. And we are all tied up on crystals.
And we're not getting any more crystals until those mitts show up. But there must have been something on the ledge. I missed what it was.
It's a medallion.
Okay. Again, won't know if that's useful until we get the mitts. So what have we not seen? Pendant Eastern, Pendant Skullwoods, and Aegina.
And we're getting a K45 check from Ralen, just a piece of
Oh
art.
yeah, I guess we haven't seen that either. A lot of vanilla pieces of heart today. Cave 45, Lake Hylia Island, Dig Game. Oh yeah, and Magic Bat coming up over here on Ralen's side.
And it looks like Hitsuyan has the same thing in mind, as he's now checking Cave 45. I don't believe he saw Stumpy either, so he'll be grabbing that on his way up to Magic Bat. But here we've got the bat on Ralen's side, so let's see, is this where our progression lies? We are looking for that second lift upgrade. Where are these Titans mitts? And the quest continues as we just have some bombs on the Magic Bat.
So while the runners don't know this because they haven't done all the checks, between the 2 of them we know that progression has to be in one of those pendant dungeons, or on the green pendant, or in Aegina's cave.
Be interested to see if we have a divergence in what we get checked. That could really make or break some of the outcomes here.
Yeah, if Skullwoods doesn't have anything, I'm sure Ralen's gonna do Graveyard Ledge and King's Tomb, which Hitsu's already done, and that'll allow Hitsu to make up some time.
And as Ralen makes his way up to Skullwoods, we have Hitsuyan checking on that bat check as well. We know it's just a couple of bombs. Oh, this may get a bumper ledge peak too while he's going up.
Probably not going to be anything because we still haven't seen that cane.
Yep, just
another vanilla piece of heart. Okay, so this is going to give Hitsuyan some time because we know from Hitsu that Ralen's not going to find anything over here. Oh, and Hitsu is giving that time right back doing the front of escape.
He doesn't know it now, but he saved a lot of time by not going all the way down into Zelda's cell. As chat points out, they're avoiding pendants like the plague. Unfortunately, they're probably going to have to go in and start checking one of those pendants soon because we have a feeling that's where progression's going to lie.
Yeah, especially given where Ralen was. You know, just given item density, unless he's just going to continue east and do Catfish and Zora.
Which we know he won't find what he's looking for. He will grab that first medallion, though, for his side. Which we don't know if Quake is important yet.
He is doing Catfish and Zora. So, yeah, as they each do each other's checks, they're just giving each other some time back. But they don't know that.
Well, when we started out, just to recap, with under 15 minutes started, we found so many items that we were a little concerned this might become a troll seed looking for something hiding out there. And right now, we are on a mission to find those Titans myths. We're locked out of progression until we do.
And if anything, I'm sure the runners are hoping they might turn up the ice rod on the way so that the seed doesn't turn into an ice rod hunt once they get those myths.
And Hitsuyan is going to the back of Escape because earlier he did take a death in the Dark Cross. We weren't sure if he grabbed an item, but it's pretty obvious now that he's going back to grab that. I think it was just bombs, so he will not be happy to see that turn up.
But then our runners should really be evened up because short of those pendant dungeons in Aegina, I can't think of anything now that either of them hasn't done.
Looking like a Skull Woods play on Hitsuyan's side. And we'll see where Ralen chooses to go next.
Yeah, and you have to wonder because they did get that fire rod fairly early on Death Mountain. And, you know, with Hitsu reading the logic pretty well based on the other items he's gotten, it's a bit surprising he hasn't wondered if that fire rod might be pointing to something.
Here we go, Nagina's cave check. This is Sphere 1, been waiting for both of them since the beginning. What's laying here? Correct me if I'm wrong, Drossi, but this is the only outstanding check besides the pendant dungeons?
Yep. And in the meantime, we saw that great desert ledge is Vanilla Piece of Heart, and so is Aegina's Cave.
This is Vanilla Piece of Heart, the seed.
Yeah, we've seen at least half a dozen of them so far.
And a nice bomb.
But no small key, so we're going to the back first. Or no, he's jumping down. I guess I don't know. I mean, Moth's annoying, but with this much health and a bacon sword, and Moth holding the green pendant, I'm surprised he's full clearing the front first.
Just 20 rupees down there in Skull Woods. And while Ralen checked Aegina's cave and was bummed to finally Piece of Heart, those are the things that start weighing on your mind as you progress further and further and haven't found what you're looking for. Is it an easy location? Did my opponent grab that early on?
Yeah, wherever the mitts are, they're getting really close to last locationing them. That second item's gonna be either in the middle or the back.
Interesting that they both end up in Skull Woods, most likely because of that green pendant reward. You can go right over to Eastern from there if you haven't found what you're looking for.
Okay, so that fire rod is locking one item in Skull Woods and whatever item's on the green pendant. And Ralen is doing the back first, wow.
Kind of the opposite play we've been seeing. We've been seeing Hitsuyan kind of make more of the gambles, and now Ralen might get rewarded by grabbing something in the back. We know there's nothing in the front. Of course, he doesn't know that, but...
Yeah, chat's talking about Ped, but it is possible that the book can show up and Mitz could even be on Ped.
Not only do we have 13 hearts for this fight, but we have half magic with Fire Rod. So between Fire Rod and Tempered Sword should make this considerably less annoying than it normally is. And just like that, we have Hitsuyan with Mothula down. And there's the Titan's mitts.
Hitsu looks a bit exasperated.
And almost to the second, our runners are grabbing those Titan's mitts at the same time. So this race is neck and neck.
And they'll probably flute to 6 now.
Oh, Ralen's going back in.
Right, because he didn't do the front, so he doesn't know where that second item is.
So, Drossi, in Ralen's shoes, would you have pulled out of there with Titan's mitts? Or would you dip back in?
I probably would have dipped back in, honestly. And he'll actually have some keys for the front so he can go through it faster than Hitsu did.
Check the Meyer shed. I didn't get to see it. That
Bombos, I think?
It didn't look like Quake, but I didn't get a full glimpse of it.
Looked like Bombos to me, but it was really quick.
Oh, there's the Ice Rod. That's something they haven't seen yet. And with Turtle Rock in play, that could have been a troll. So glad to find that.
We are in medallion mode now.
Yeah, that's Bombos.
Could be in checkerboard here. Key under the doormat.
And with the Ice Rod and the mitts, we are only looking for medallions.
Hey, would you believe a vanilla piece of heart in checkerboard? Oh, our tracker's marking ether. Interesting. I could have sworn it was Bombos.
Well, at least we're both blind.
Yeah, chat's confirming Bombos. I'm not sure why the tracker marked ether.
An interesting divergence here. We've got a dip into Desert Palace, whereas Hitsuyan is taking his mitts up to Death Mountain, no doubtably going to check his pendant requirement for Turtle Rock. See what he's working with here. And along with some pendant information, we're going to get some Dark Death Mountain checks, I would imagine, now that we have those mitts.
And it is also Bombos.
So we are a Bombos away from go mode here, I believe.
So now, chat, you can root for any sort of crazy location you want. Bombos in Dig Spot, Bombos on Ped, it's all possible.
But we do know where that shovel is. Oh, there's Ether. Just teasing them.
Oh my, Ralen Tankir is in go mode at about 58 minutes.
Grabbing that Bombos, and Hitsuyan gonna grab the shovel as he's thinking he doesn't want to leave Bombos behind on Dig Spot. He's not gonna find it there.
So yeah, Ralen doesn't know it, but with that go mode, it is his race to lose because I don't think Hitsu's going to desert anytime soon. He'll probably full clear ice before he tries desert, whereas Ralen can go mode ice.
Yeah, that was a very, very lucky call on his part. He was already in the area, why not take a look? And he was rewarded quite well. And a nice Meyer one. That's an interesting point the chat is making, thinking Ralen might try to full clear ice. He doesn't know that Bombos is his entrance to Turtle Rock as
Yeah,
well. So
he does have Ice Rod. It's not marked on his tracker, but he definitely pulled it from Meyer's shed right around when Hitsu did.
And just like you said, Drazi, there's Hitsuyan in Ice Palace, going to be doing a full clear, seeking that Bombos.
And we have a God Meyer, so Rollins going straight to the back. Viddy's gonna be blink and you'll miss him with those silver arrows.
And the longer Ralen puts off checking Turtle Rock's entrance, that's the only life that Hitsuyan has left in this race, is once Ralen knows he's got everything he needs, he's got a decent lead.
And considering he's go-moding Meyer here, he may well just be banking on the 2/3 chance that he can open TR. Nice execution of spooky action glitch there. Which is too complicated for me to explain. You do some stuff when you're taking the portal to Dark World, and then you can trick the game into thinking your fire rod is shooting someplace it isn't, and flip switches.
And Hitsuyan having a little bit of trouble with the icebreaker skip. And just like you said, blink and you miss him. Beatrice is down. And that's going to be our 5th crystal on Ralen's side. Oh, but Gold Sword is his reward for the icebreaker. Not sure it'll be enough of a time save at this point, but we'll take some stuff down just a little quicker.
Yeah, I don't think Rollins gonna miss it too much. He might even open that chest because I'm assuming he'll do Icebreaker, even go-moding Ice Palace.
And just like you said, Drazi, Ralen is on the move. He's not even worried about what's in Meyer right now. And it's a gutsy call. I mean, he's, like you said, he's got the 2/3 advantage, but it's still, it takes some guts to make that call to leave behind half the dungeon. Both our runners are in Ice Palace right now. As Hitsuyan is making his way down, and Ralen just getting his way in. Looks like we're about to see Cold Stare.
So Ralen is doing some checks here.
Well, the more he checks, the more time he's given Hitsuyan to make up, and from what I've seen of execution, not a player you want to give a lot of time to.
No, but I don't think... Yeah, especially because he's going for this switch. That says to me he's not planning on a full clear because he's protecting against not finding the big key by doing that switch.
And with that Gold Sword on Hitsuyan's side, we have a very quick Cold Stare fight, and we are tied up in crystals. But if you're just joining us, Ralen has a decisive lead as he has found Bombos. It was in Desert Palace, and Desert Palace is a pendant. So we're hanging on Hitsuyan's decision to make his way over to Desert Palace before he can move forward.
And we've also now got a good illustration of why the vanilla game locks both the Gold Sword and the Silver Arrows behind Cold Stare and Vitreous, because they're just too easy if you have those items.
And a bloomerang for his troubles with the shovel.
Doesn't even want it.
This might be a check from the dwarves.
Ooh, if he's doing Smith Chain, he's really gonna fall behind. And it looks like he is.
Yeah, I can't think of what else he's got that's in this area. And as Hitsuyan is making his way with Jeremiah, we have a cold steer fight on Ralen's side. Oh, and hammer pegs too. He's just he's slowing himself down. He doesn't know it, but he's slowing himself down.
I was just thinking, assuming this match ends like we're expecting and Ralen wins, both of these runners will be 1-1 in the division. And since Hitsuyan hasn't played Zelga-Dasan yet, if both of these runners win out from here, we would have a three-way tie for first in the division.
Well, Ralen is doing everything he can to make sure that that's a possibility as Hitsuyan picks up the purple chest. Not the direction he wants to be going, although it may lead him over to check Desert Palace.
I mean, it's basically Desert or Eastern for him at this point. Flute to 6 or 5? 6, okay. Finally going to Desert. He will get his go mode, but he is a dungeon plus behind now.
And Ralen about to be very happy with what he sees when he opens this tunnel here. So at roughly the same time Ralen is going into his final dungeon, you'll have Hitsuyan picking up his bombos for go mode, just a few seconds apart. But Hitsuyan an entire dungeon behind as he needs to dip into Mire first and take out Vitreous for his 6th crystal.
And unfortunately, Hitsu's doing the right side first, which is only reasonable. I mean, you don't generally double back to check the big chest before doing right side, but it does suck up another half minute. And you also kind of hope that you can find both items on the right side, but he only found one. Oh, nice early big key and small key. Well, it had to be the small key there so that we could progress, but the early big key means we can skip lava chest.
And at an hour, 7 minutes, Hitsuyan enters go mode.
So almost a full 10 minutes after Ralen Tankir's go mode. Ooh, there's a fetch quest we won't be doing.
Oh, and Ralen gets bumped off by Stalfos. He's going to have to make his way back over. Now, Hitsuyan will fortunately find a Godmire here. He's going to grab that big key early on and be able to jump right through. And he does know he's in go mode. So I would imagine we'll see him go straight to Vitreous and get out of there and try to do everything he can to close this gap.
Yeah, I imagine he'll be climbing Death Mountain by the time Ralen Tankir finishes off Trinex.
So while Ralen does have a significant lead here, we still have one last final rando game to play as we get out of here, as we look for the big key in Ganon's Tower. Some of that routing could play a factor here.
Roland's running into a little bit of trouble in that room.
And as nasty as this Mitz hunt was, a lot of decent items up front to make clearing out these areas we were searching, pretty manageable.
And on Rollins' side, I'm sure he did not at all mind a go mode ice and a go mode mire. But yeah, it just reinforces that Pendant Skull Woods has progression an alarmingly high portion of the time.
I see green pendants go woods a lot in the seeds when I generate them too. That's a pretty common pendant to be sitting there.
Answering chat, yes, Ralen did skip the big chest. Doesn't matter. There was our small key on Laser Bridge, so he's going to try next. Yeah, I think I've heard there's about 2.5% chance of locking yourself out if the last two small keys happen to be in Lava Chest and Big Chest.
And Hitsuyan is making the climb. He's on regular Death Mountain. He'll be getting close to Turtle Rock in a minute. But as we say that, Ralen has entered the Trinex fight and will be grabbing his 7th crystal as an excellent strat, taking out both heads very quickly. And he's got a gold sword, so you imagine this will be a very quick.
And with that 7th crystal, we have a little game we like to play. There are 22 chests in the basement of Ganon's Tower, so when we start, guess a number between 1 and 22 for where you think that big chest will be.
Rossi, do you have any predictions?
I like to go with 10. It usually gets sniped from me, though.
Well, I'll just guess for fun, but I would imagine I'm going to go with 11.
Hey, I got 10 in without a snipe. How about that? So get your guesses in quickly, because we will be stopping the game when Ralen enters GT. Meanwhile, our runners did a little high five at the outside of TR.
And as Hitsuyan enters Turtle Rock, we have Ralen entering Ganon's Tower. It looks like it's a decent lead, but you never know what's going to happen with this GT routing.
Yeah, if the big key is somewhere crazy and Hitsuyan spends a lot less time looking for it. So Ralen's he's doing the standard opening in Hope Room because you hope the big key's there and you can just be done with it. And without a small key, he has to go left.
I think I managed to get 11 in there before anybody else did.
So it could be that Big Key is in Compass Room and Hitsu does Dark Magician and makes up a huge amount of time that way.
With the execution of these runners, I wouldn't put money on anybody just yet.
We're on check number 8 though, which is just $50.
Oh, missing those switches with the... Oh, missing them again.
Third time's the charm. check number 9 at the end of this room. Another small key.
So both your check and my check coming up in the next room. You had 10, right? I guess 11.
Yeah. We shall see. No, oh, there's the book.
Still searching.
Yeah, I think Ralen's got enough of a lead that even at this point, if it is on the right side and Hitsu does do Dark Magician, Ralen still has a lead, but it'll definitely be tighter.
I always like to see a nice close race. But I would have to agree as we go into Ice Armos, especially if he finds something down here. It'll take Hitsuyan quite a while to make his way down here.
Well, you can see the lovely lag of the silver arrows, but on the other hand, you only need one shot per Armos. Okay, it's on the right side.
Hitsuyan with nice movement in Turtle Rock. He's doing everything he can to...
You see that swag block toss on Ralen's side?
Very nice. I can barely play the game. I can barely beat the game. So to think about throwing swag into my playing is just a whole nother level.
There's a nice swag block punt you can do in this room, too. Though we're not seeing it today.
And over on Hitsuyan's side, that is Trinex down. Oh, and there's the big key.
So that was chest number 18. Let's see who got 18.
And at an hour 17 minutes, Hitsuyan has all 7 crystals and will be making his way into GT.
And congratulations to Fred for getting the 27 internet points. Oh, and Ralen's having trouble with that Gorilla.
Much better execution that second room, though.
Yeah, but overall, Hitsuyan has the better execution, and the only question is, will that be enough to catch him up here?
Well, he's going to have to make...
just... Sorry, go ahead.
No, he's going to have to make the correct gamble. He's going to have to pick up a key and go right side. And that will pretty much, I think, solidify where we're at. Although Ralen takes a hit right there, falling off the bridge.
And he is not doing that. He's starting in Hope Room, and as we saw before, no key has to go left.
And you're seeing Hitsuyan continue to dive into left side GT, which is just going to put that distance even further between him as Ralen is climbing up the gauntlet. And what really made the difference here was that Desert Palace check.
Oh, wait a minute. So Hitsu's doing what we call Pink Magician strats, because it's Pink Kitty Rose's variation on Dark Magician strats, where you go right to Hope Room, then you go to Stalfos Room, and then you go back to the right side.
Well, he will be rewarded for this, but is it too little too late? I absolutely love the Cane of Samaria strat in that room. It's so satisfying. Great execution on Ralen's end to get rid of those wizards.
But it's always fun to see the rare Sumarialist seed where neither Meyer nor Turtle Rock are required and it just doesn't show up. And then the runners are always like, now how do I do this room without the cane again?
And with that, Hitsuyan will make his way up Ganon's tower. I mean, as nice of a lead as Ralen has, a fall to Ganon, you never want to see it, but this race is definitely not over. It can come down to some execution up in that top room.
There's also always Moldorm to worry about. With the Butter Sword, it's just 2 slashes.
Very nice job of Ralen to make sure that he doesn't get knocked off.
And Hitsu enters the gauntlet as Ralen enters the final room before Aga 2.
And we've got Aga here. Having a little bit of trouble with that second shot there. And getting the blue ball. Ooh, 2 back-to-back. That's a little unfortunate. I believe that's 4 shots into Aga so far.
Oh, that was weird. The real Aga's shot just got swallowed.
And with that, Aga 2 is down, and Ralen is making his way into our Ganon fight. Can he wrap this up before Hitsuyan gets up there? It's looking pretty good.
Chat telling us that was a 7-cycle Aga 2 fight. What's the pig got today? Cheese. Glorious cheese. Okay, that is easily enough hits for phase 2.
Ralen making use of that gold sword, getting to work here. And as Ralen goes into phase 3, we have Hitsuyan on Moldorm too.
Ganon's behaving so far with not having too many warps. Not many warps at all. Very nice phase 3. Does not get the torch glitch. Good thing he has half magic.
And that's it.
Yeah, so get your GGs in chat for Ralen Tankir, who, assuming he crosses the bridge, will take this match.
GG's to Ralen. Great job. Looking
and
at... Go ahead.
He crosses with an official race time of 1:23:56.
And with Ralen finishing up, we have Hitsuyan finishing out Aga 2 as he makes his way into the Ganon fight. Really close race. I mean, Drazi, it came down to that choice to stick around after seeing Meyer being Bombos, to stick around to go to Desert Palace and to pull that Bombos out of there. And unfortunately, it just took Hitsuyan a little too much time to make his way back there.
Yeah, Hitsu's shaking his head. I'm sure he's seen Rollins not done at this point. But he's going to finish it out because he's close enough. Sounds like we have Ralen Tankir in here with us. We're just going to wait and let Hitsuyan finish his fight, though.
And for all that routing divergence, they were at that mire. They both saw bombos about the same time, few seconds apart. So for all that, with players with great execution like this, you see how close these matches come, even though they, kind of go their own ways. So very nice job from both runners, as Hitsuyan is making his way to wrap up Ganon here.
Ooh, he misses his first silver shot, does get one, and does get the torch glitch. That's going to help.
We got a double. Ooh. And that should be it. And
that'll do it.
To Hitsuyan for a very respectable time. Great job working on this seed as well, as he's getting ready to cross that bridge and wrap up this seed.
And he will do that with an official race time of 1:25:48, so a minute 52 behind Ralen Tankir when all is said and done. So anyway, now that that's done, we do have Ralen Tankir here, so GG's on that win.
GG's, Ralen.
Yeah, thanks, GG.
So obviously the big question, what was going through your mind when you decided to go into desert while you were in the Mire area? Oh, and we have Hitsu here too. GG.
GG's Hitsu.
GG's Hitsu. Yeah, I mean, I just saw I still need bombos for Maya, so I am definitely not in go mode yet, and I was back to just checking stuff. I had pretty much cleared everything before the mids, and desert still open, still 2 items there, and there is a quite big amount of time the Maya Medallion just likes to hide somewhere close to it. So yeah, I would have done front of desert. I wouldn't have done Denmo even if there were an item. So yeah, that was kind of lucky at that point.
That was a really good call on that for Desert Palace.
It's pretty amazing too that for doing almost the entirety of GT Basement and practically last locationing those mids, your collection rate is still only 142.
Yeah, I skipped like everything what I don't need, I think, even full hearts. Also lost words instantly. Or no, there was the red mail, right? But other stuff.
Yeah.
With red mail you can afford to skip pretty much any heart you see that you are not forced to pick up.
True, you guys saw a lot of vanilla pieces of heart that you didn't actually pick up. And you still wound up with 16 hearts.
Somehow I tried to skip stuff, and even then I found pretty much everything.
Well, I mean, on the way to Mitts, that would be the case. I don't know if you guys know this, but you were in perfect sync opening the back of Skull Woods, and obviously then on your moth fights at the same time and got your Mitts seconds apart.
Yeah, despite all the routing differences early on, you guys came to a point where you both saw that bombos at the same time, and Hitsuyan decided to look for it and somewhere else, and Ralen stuck around for Desert Palace, and that was really what made the difference. Although Hitsuyan went right back and got it after doing some other checks and made it a close race, only a minute and change apart. So,
I mean, I know Hitsuyan is a very strong player, so I have to get a bit help off the seat somewhere, and honestly, I didn't really feel like that was an out of the way play. It was just, yeah. Sometimes he makes some decisions. I could have totally understand just going for Ice Palace, which was a crystal. Had Icebreaker to full clear it easily. Where I somehow even found all 3 items despite trying to skip chests. So that was another interesting one. But yeah,
I mean, hey, butter sword, right?
I won't complain. Yeah, I mean, I'd say in 7 out of 10 races, Hitsuyan just wins through execution. And yeah, so I'm happy that it was one of the maybe 3 seeds that I can get a bit lucky on, but yeah, it's random.
You guys
Yeah,
both had great execution on both sides. It's just impressive to watch. How did you guys feel about the pretty stacked opening? Having red mail, hookshot was one of the first things that was grabbed. A lot of the seed opened up pretty early on until we got locked by those mitts.
Yeah, I don't like it because I know I have a bit of execution advantage, and yeah, I hope it's a pet seed every time. To be fair. Or something really deep that you have to like last locate, or yeah, I don't play it clean this seed. This was a seed. Do everything when you can do it and when you are near it, and then you have a really quick seed in this one, I think. If you go instant to Mothula, then you check Maya area and you get your bombers. Even if you do Eastern after pot, it's still quicker as this time, I guess.
Yeah, Ralen also with an interesting play. He actually left Meyer and didn't know yet that Turtle Rock was his was also Bombos, so that was a good call on your part to save some time.
Like I said, Hitsuyan is the stronger player, so I cannot afford to do check everything. I had 2 medallions, so I was playing the chances, and more often than not, that is just the right move. And even if it would have been ethered, I had still Darkness Mountain to search for it, so I felt pretty good on that one. I tried to do on-the-way checks while going up there, which, yeah, led to me checking a few extra chests and ice, but yeah, getting all 3 items there gave me at least security that I didn't leave either there, so yeah. I had to play for it to get maybe a little bit more time, and this time it didn't come to bite me.
So let's talk about the tournament itself. You guys are now both 1-1 in the group, I believe. How are you feeling about things going forward for your remaining 2 games?
I took my loss against Zelga, so one of the expected losses I got, and yeah, I have still Schulze to beat, which is not easy. He somehow always has my number. No matter what I do, he just does better. So let's see if I can break that.
Please do it.
Oh, I really want to. For sure. Yeah.
We will see. I have 2 really hard games left, so I need to win both of them, I think, to have good chances. At least one, and then I need help from the others, what they do.
Well,
Is it
I was actually
possible in this one, or
I was thinking it through. Since you're the only one in the group who hasn't faced Zelga, if you can manage to beat him, and you guys both make it past Schulzer, we could have a 3-way tie between the 2 of you and Zelga.
Oh boy, that would be a mess.
So there's what you have to shoot for this week.
I'll try my best. I can't say too much. I can't say too much about Black Monkey or my chances against them. So I will just try my best, and well, Schulze, yeah, we will see.
Yeah, good luck to you both. I guess we should probably let you guys go, since I know you have to get over to the German channel to do your German interview over there. So GG's again.
Yeah,
Jeez,
great
then.
match, guys. GG's.
Thanks for the restream. Thanks for commentating. Yeah, I always appreciate the hard work that's done by all those volunteers.
Yeah, thank you guys.
And do give these runners a follow. It'll be really interesting to see what they do in their respective remaining 2 matches this week. And of course, we have a lot more matches than we can restream on SpeedGaming, so you may have to check them out on their individual channels. We'll restream what we can, and of course, since they're both German, they might also get some restreams on SpeedGaming Deutsch, where they're headed over to now. So if you speak German, do check out that channel as well.
Thanks for having me, and good evening. Enjoy.
Bye-bye, guys.
So that'll wrap things here. We're going to take a bit of a break. We'll be back at 8:10 with a Super Metroid Zelda 3 rando game, which should take us through the evening. And Speed Gaming Prime is also on a little bit of a break until 9 o'clock, but do check back here in I guess in about 40 to 45 minutes for the next race. And hey, 329th, it was great calling with you.
Same, Drowsy. Great to get to work with you. It was a really great race to watch, and you just love when, when there's all those divergences, but then they come right up, and it's that one decision between the two of them, neck and neck.
And thanks also to our tracker X Puma, who was working on the German side, so he's not here in the chat room with us. But that's how the tracking was working here. It's one tracker for both languages. And that'll do it for now. So thanks again for watching, and we'll be back in a bit.
Take care. Have a good night. Thanks.